Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. Welcome to one in my railway series. Well, where are we today? We're in the county of Herefordshire, but we're also close to the counties of Gloucestershire that way and Worcestershire just that way, just a couple of miles in either direction. I'm in the beautiful town of Colwall, which lies on the western side of the Malvern Hills, somewhere we have previously covered on the channel and I'm sure we will do again. But it's not to the Malvern Hills that I'm going to show you today, a very specific aspect of it. Let's first have a look at a railway station, as this, of course, is a railway series video. So I'm here at the station at Colwall, which is just down there. In that direction is the Herefordshire town of Ledbury. The line also continues on to the city of Hereford. And that's a view from the other direction. That goes on to the stations at Great Malvern, which you've covered before here on West Country Wanderings, and Malvern Link, and on to the city of Worcester. This part of the line is single track. It doubles when it gets to, well, before Malvern Link actually, before it gets to what's known as Little Malvern, where there was a junction off heading south to Upton-on-Severn and Tewkesbury. That line is now long gone, and it continues on, as I say, into the heart of the Malverns, going under a tunnel to cross over into the county of Worcestershire. This, I do believe, is the least used station in Herefordshire on the network. Not that Herefordshire has many railway stations. I think I can only think of a couple. Obviously, it has Hereford itself. It also has Ledbury, aforementioned in that direction, and Leinster, and this one here at Colwall. And I think that is just about it. Although there is a one at Knighton, which is in Wales, on the central Wales line, well, goes right through the heart of Wales down to Swansea direction, isn't it? Shrewsbury to Swansea, and I do think that station lies just over the border in Herefordshire. Again, this is not what I want to show you here today, because the line that we're looking for is a lot narrower than standard gauge here. I think there's a train here every hour on this station. There's the next one, 14:52 to Hereford, and there's a one at 15:07 which goes on to Birmingham New Street via Worcester. In terms of facilities, well, not a great deal, apart from the footbridge which I was standing on just now. You have a ticket machine here and a waiting shelter. As I say, it is a single track line, but of course trains run in both directions. Now, let's go and have a look at our other railway. So I've left my car at the station back there at Colwall. Beautiful town. Not sure if it's a town or a village, but it's really nice. Some lovely properties in the area. It's also got a post office and a hotel and a pharmacy, as well as that railway station. So in terms of facilities, it's good, and it's also close by to Malvern as well. As you know, that's a really favourite area of mine. How did I come and find this place? Well, as you know, I like looking at maps, and I saw this and it just said miniature railway. So I've never heard of a miniature railway that was in use in Herefordshire. Did a bit of digging around on the old internet there and found out that this railway, this miniature railway, is the oldest private railway in the whole of the world. That's quite some accolade. Let's see if we can see of it and tell you the full story. So just gone past that housing. We're now close to a school called the Down Malvern School. It's a private school. In fact, there's many private schools dotted in and around the town of Malvern, the wider area that is, both in Herefordshire and Worcestershire, and also in Gloucestershire. So the whole area is covered in prestigious private schools, some of them very old as well, going back to the 1600s. So it seems to be a place for private education, but I think there's also some really good state schools as well in this area. But and it's to do with this school, the Down Malvern School. Our story starts here. So here is the Down School Malvern private miniature railway, and at this point here it actually goes under a tunnel underneath the road here. Not quite sure how long the tunnel is, not that long, but it disappears into the woodland there, and that woodland also belongs to the school. This is a right of way along this track here. I think it leads to a farm down that end, but they also have their own forest school here at the school. And well, there's an amazing secret about the railway, and let's have a bit more of a wander and I'll tell you about that. So here's the portal of the tunnel there, and it just comes out in that direction. So that's the other end of it. You saw the first part of it skirting its way round towards the hockey field. They're actually playing hockey down there at the moment. I'm waiting for them to finish so I can get down on the field there. There's a public footpath that crosses over that field, and you can see more of the track there. There's also a railway station which is named after the founder of this fascinating and world-beating miniature private railway here in Herefordshire. I'll tell you some more about the history of it. So this railway was opened by the former headmaster of the Downs Malvern School way back in 1925. Headmaster was called Geoffrey Hoyland, and the station back there is called Hoyland Holt. And it was opened, so next year we'll be celebrating its 100th anniversary, the centenary of this magnificent miniature line. It opened as a 7.5-inch gauge. I'll put that is what it is in proper money in the subtitles below. Now, as well as being the headmaster of the school here, Geoffrey Hoyland was also an engineer and a mathematician. Indeed, he taught the pupils both mathematics and engineering. I'll come on to later. His brainwave, though, was to get the school children themselves to look after it. So yes, it wasn't just for them to view after a hard day studying at the school here in these beautiful Herefordshire surroundings by the Malvern Hills here, but it was so they could get their hands dirty, maintaining a proper railway line. I think that's a genius idea, because what is better than getting school children prepared for the world of work and learning about hands-on practical things they get their teeth into and apply into the wider world of work when they leave school. I think it's brazen. I think he had a wonderful concept to build this line here in a school and to get the pupils to use it. Fantastic. Now, for reasons that are not entirely clear, in the 1930s there was a change of gauge on this railway line. It went from the smallest 7.25 inch to 9.5 inches. What's that? 23.1 centimetres, somewhere around there. I'll check that and put that in below. I'm not sure why the change of gauge, probably less than 10 years after the railway line opened, but maybe it's to do with availability of miniature steam locomotives that could run on the track. But either way, it changed and it continued to run. Now, sadly, towards the end of the 1930s, Geoffrey Hoyland became ill and he had to take early retirement of being headmaster of the school here. And after he retired and left the school, unfortunately, because it was his passion, his baby, although the pupils were looking after it, it fell into disrepair and it was completely disused and abandoned and forgotten in the end of the sports fields. I'm still on the right of way, don't worry, I'm not trespassing anywhere I shouldn't be, but that's the other portal there. Remember, we saw the portal that was covered in the woodland and where they do the forest practice. That's over the other side of the road. So this is this portal here. So the track's curving around in front of their piggery. They've also got allotments here, so it looks like a really, really good school. And it then comes into the station. Have a look at the station and I'll tell you some more about our story. So that's our station right down there, Hoyland Holt, named after the headmaster that set it up. As you can see, it's in very good condition, very clean ballast. Well painted signal there. Even the station looks amazing. Not sure how close I can get to it following this footpath, but we'll see if I can do that and I'll keep going. In the 1970s, a group of former pupils led by one James Boyd, I think they got goats and sheep here as well, so yeah, just in the field there. He restored it with, former pupils. James Boyd actually went to be an authority on miniature railway history, wrote lots of books, and he was involved in a lot of the railway lines in Wales and writing about their history as well when they were restored in the 50s onwards after closing from the mines, coal mines closing in Wales. Anyway, James Boyd and his team of former pupils restored this up to its glory that it is now, and it's been a success here at the school ever since. Now, sadly, the line doesn't seem to have open days at all. There was one, I think, about 6 or 7 years ago. You can see clips of it on YouTube, and I'll include a link of that in the description of today's video. And I say, if you do come here to visit for yourself, be careful of trespassing into the school's property, and be mindful of, if you're taking photographs, of not taking images of the children that are attending the school. Been obviously very conscious of that when I've been filming here today. But there are some footpaths, as I include the map so you can see, that crisscross over the line, so you can certainly see both entrances to that tunnel as well as the station as well. Hope you enjoyed this railway series, West Country Wanderings. There'll be another one in the not too distant future. If you hit subscribe and the bell, then YouTube will tell you when that one is. All the best for now. Cheers. Goodbye.